If you want to know how the universe might end, you need to understand something. We don't know how the universe might end. Our best theories suggest 5 potential outcomes, so this is the universe according to science. This is the top 5 most plausible ways the universe could end. One of the biggest driving forces in shaping the universe today is something called dark energy. It's thought to make up around 3/4 of the total energy content of the universe. But despite its dominance, we still do not know exactly what dark energy is, or if it was always present, or if it may have been created by something else. And because of this uncertainty, we can't predict what will happen in the future. Our current understanding of dark energy suggests it has a constant negative pressure which repels matter and antimatter and results in the accelerated expansion of the universe. But this doesn't have to be constant. The dark energy could change strength over time. The first way the universe could end comes from this. If the expansion of the universe continues to accelerate, driven by dark energy, then all galaxies will eventually drift too far away from each other for meaningful interaction to occur. Galaxies will move further and further apart until the average distance between them is so great that there is no longer any interaction. It's the loneliest way to end. It's what's known as the heat death, or the big freeze. Now this isn't what people usually think of when they picture heat death. More often than not, they'll imagine people frozen in carbonite like Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back, but being frozen in carbonite would actually be pretty awesome if the heat death happens. On the other hand, the heat death of the universe is a much more depressing affair. As the universe expands, stars will eventually run out of fuel and go out like old light bulbs, plunging the universe into darkness. Only black holes, which emit a faint glow, will remain shining brightly against the backdrop of a darkening cosmos. With no new stars forming, the universe will become a cold and dark place. Even worse, the average temperature will continue to drop towards absolute zero. Eventually, the only activity in the universe would be the faint glow of black holes, the faint hum of radiation, and the occasional collision of atoms. No life would be possible. And while the fundamental forces of nature would still exist, they'd become irrelevant, as the universe would be entirely dead. In effect, the universe would freeze. There would be no change, nothing happening anywhere. Time itself would come to a stop. This is why it is sometimes referred to as the heat death of the universe rather than the heat death. Because it is not really about the heat. It's about everything coming to a standstill. While the big freeze is the most popular theory for the heat death of the universe, it's not the only one. You see, the force of dark energy could get stronger, not weaker. If that happens, it will eventually overcome all other fundamental forces, including gravity, electromagnetism, and the nuclear forces. This would mean that the entire universe would start to rip apart. The structure of space-time itself would break down. Galaxies would be ripped apart and flung in different directions. Planets would be ripped from their orbits and thrown into interstellar space. Stars would be torn apart and atoms would be ripped into their constituent subatomic particles. This is what's known as the Big Rip. Now there are problems with this theory. The dark energy would have to change in a way that we currently don't understand to make this happen. But it's not impossible. Maybe dark energy is changing in a way we haven't discovered yet. Or maybe there's some unknown force acting on the universe that we're missing. But if this does happen, it won't be pretty. At the moment, the rate of expansion of the universe seems to be increasing, but at a slower rate than expected. So maybe the Big Rip is something we don't have to worry about, at least not yet. But there's another possibility we should discuss. What if the expansion of the universe flips? So instead of speeding up, what if it starts to slow down? We already know that the expansion will eventually slow down, because gravity pulls everything together and there is a lot of stuff in the universe. But right now, dark energy is overcoming gravity and pushing everything apart. Eventually, that will change. Gravity will win and cause the expansion of the universe to flip. The expansion will slow down and eventually it will flip and the universe will begin to contract. All the galaxies would be drawn back together in what's known as the Big Crunch. Stars would collide and merge until every single one goes out, plunging the universe into darkness. Then everything would be crushed together in a fiery ball of plasma before being hurled outwards once again in the next iteration of the universe. That is, of course, if the universe is infinite. If it's not infinite, then everything would be crunched together in a single instant, eliminating space and time as we know it. And if the universe is infinite, then this cycle would just keep repeating itself over and over again. But there's another possibility we need to talk about, something that's even more terrifying, the vacuum decay. Our universe is full of energy. Everything that exists has energy. But the strange thing is that energy doesn't always have to be around. Sometimes it can just pop into existence out of nowhere. This is called quantum fluctuation. Now this isn't normally a problem because fluctuations pop into existence and then annihilate just as quickly. They're gone. But sometimes they can remain for a little bit longer, and under certain circumstances, they can spread. When they do, they create a bubble of true vacuum. Now here's the scary part. The vacuum we're in right now might not be the true vacuum. It might just be a local minimum, meaning there's a true vacuum somewhere out there that's more stable and therefore has a higher probability of existing. If it does exist, then there's a chance that at some point, a fluctuation will cause our universe to tunnel into that true vacuum. Once it does, our laws of physics would cease to exist and everything in our universe would be destroyed. Atoms would disintegrate, stars would go out and black holes would evaporate, and this would happen instantly across the entire universe. But there is another possible way that black holes could spell the end of the universe. Black holes are strange objects with an almost supernatural ability to suck things in. They're incredibly dense regions of space from which nothing can escape, not even light. And while they can't technically suck things in, that's what it looks like because nothing can escape their gravitational pull. As things fall into a black hole, they disappear over the event horizon, the point of no return. Once something crosses the event horizon, it can never come back out, not even light. And once something disappears into a black hole, it's gone forever. Not even information can escape a black hole. Stephen Hawking famously said that black holes can't be destroyed, but they can evaporate. He came to this conclusion after studying quantum effects near the edge of a black hole. He realized that black holes aren't entirely black. They emit a faint glow that can eventually cause them to evaporate. The process is incredibly slow and takes billions of years, but it does happen. If our universe continues to exist for a long time, then eventually all black holes will evaporate and the universe will be left empty and dark. It wouldn't be a violent end, but it would be a pretty lonely one. So those are 5 of the most likely ways that the universe might end. Which one do you think is the most likely? Do you think the universe will simply fade away into nothingness, or will it end in a dramatic fashion? Let us know your thoughts. But before you go, be sure to check out our other videos, which are all designed to help you learn something new. Thanks for watching.